Tamily. It is Saturday, May 4th, and we are starting our 41st Ask Tamily interview, which is going to be with Natalie. Her Instagram name is NatGlow, and I am stream now, so it'll just take a minute for us to connect. We have some questions planned, but type in live questions too. Hello!
Is it clear?
It is. The video is like slightly blurry, but I think it's clearing up, and the audio is perfect, so we're good. Yes. So thank you so much for being our 41st Ask Tamily interview. We're so excited to have you.
I am so honored, and actually, I can't even believe how organized you girls are. It really blows my mind, and this takes a lot of time and effort from you two, and I really want to, commemorate that. That's really awesome what you girls are doing.
Well, thank you. I think it's super fun, and we have to give the credit to Nicole because she does everything that's organizational for Ask Tamily. I really just do the interviews, and Nicole handles everything else.
It's perfect.
So thank you, Nicole, while we're acknowledging that. So, and thank you for joining us. We want to jump right in with our favorite question first, which is, when and how did you start doing the Tracey Anderson method?
All right, so after my child in 2009, I was probably watching TV like all of us on the couch, and the meta started popping up. And I really liked how Tracey separated the body groups, like where you gained weight. And obviously I am very hip-centric. I always thought I was glute-centric, but later on I realized I'm not. I'm actually very hip-centric. So I did get that, and I didn't do it. It collected dust, and it sat there for a long time. Not very disciplined at all, I am not. Then in 2014, I actually passed out and hit my head, and it kind of woke me up that I needed to really pay attention to what I was doing. Was I taking care of myself? And why was I passing out? So I started doing the meta. I started YouTubing her, and she had a rebounder YouTube. She had a body boot camp YouTube. I mean, she had so many videos that I could pull up and do, and they were all different. So that's how I started. Then in 2016, the hashtag GYBG, I think, Tamily started coming up, and I started stalking like we all did, the usual suspects, Loretta, Aggie, Erica Boom, Minnie, Nadine, you name it. I was just following them and was like amazed at also their friendships. So then J-Lo Challenge came, and I wanted tickets. And that's what got me to videotape myself. Because otherwise I would have never done it. Never.
We're glad that you started then. Your videos are very inspirational. So, that's an awesome start. So, when did you actually start streaming?
So, I think I did meta actually 2 rounds of meta. I did it for the 90 days, and then I did it again. Okay. And at the time, Lima in South, I think she's in Cape Town, she was going to give away a free 2-week streaming trial. So I won. She gave me the code, and I was able to log in for 2 weeks for free. Okay. And I'll never, ever forget that. I was honored, and I was so happy she did that, because I was hooked. After I started and I saw the workouts, I didn't want to go back. Yeah. I did not do continuity. Okay. I went straight into streaming, and I love it. I love it.
Me too. So what's your routine about the workout? Do you do advanced, intermediate? Do you mix it up?
I mix it up. It depends. I work out at night. I work out after I'm done with homework with my son. I usually do it as a distressor. If I have an hour, I will do the master class. If I don't have an hour, I will do multitask or the starter.
Okay.
And I actually just recently also started to add the cardio, which I never ever had done.
Yeah.
So it really depends on where I'm at. And to pick a lane, I start with master, and I'll poke around and see what other classes I like or looks good, or start hearing on the feed what class is awesome, and I'll look. And if I like it, I stick there, or I'll go back to whatever. So I don't stick to anything in particular. I kind of see where my day is going and how I feel.
So now that you've been including some cardio, which cardio are you doing?
So I started the low impact cardio. Zarita, I actually could do her entire 30, I think it was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was really a big deal for me because I suck at cardio. I have lost that endurance, but I feel that it needs to come back. That we continually need to challenge ourselves in a different way, and that is a challenge. And I also like the multitask cardio,
Okay.
although it is much faster than the low impact. So I'm not that good.
I'm not either, and I have tried Sarita's. I think probably like 3 times, and I really liked it. I only did like up to 11 minutes, but
Yeah.
Sarita's is awesome. Like, if anybody could get no cardio people to do cardio, that's amazing.
That's how I felt. I was like, I can do this. She made me feel like I was actually able to accomplish, because you watch the girls, like, I know who are the cardio queens and who are the memorizing the dancing routines.
Yeah.
And I don't have time for that, and I love watching them, but it makes me feel like, oh my God, I'll never be able to do this. But there are so many options that you just have to open it up and be open to, like, hey, don't give up, just keep trying.
Yeah. Yeah, the cardio, it's like unbelievable options on the cardio. I mean, and on the regular workouts too, but yeah, I was definitely pleased with Sarita.
Yeah.
So what made you choose the Tracey Anderson method versus any other fitness methods?
Well, you can do it at home. I don't like to go back in my car to drive to go anywhere, because then I'll never do it. And I had been following and watching so many of her YouTubes that I loved how she did it. I loved the angles. I loved that she always went into, like, the plank position and did, whatever, the donkey cakes or whatever, the arabesque, it's exactly everything that I wanted to do, everything that I wanted to work on. And when I started the streaming, her opening ceremony to me is my favorite. It does so much for your body that that's why I still love doing it. And she changes it every week. You have a new class. Where can you go and get that? I mean, at least that I will enjoy.
Right.
And the Tamily. If you don't work out, or if you don't feel like doing it, you just go into InstaWorld, and within about 15 minutes, you're like, all right. You get FOMO.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I'm like, I really have to get up and start working out now that I've watched.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. So we have obviously several questions planned for you, but we've got some coming in the chat already. So we want to ask you the live questions.
All right.
So from Turtle Truckin', she's asking, what does Prospector mean to you, a body worker, and how does that translate to your TAM practice and body feeling?
Wait, can I say hi, Sharon? Hi, Rebecca. It's hard to read and do this at the same time.
Very.
All right. So the Prospectors she works the angles in neurology. So everything is in a cross pattern. So if you want to work the opposite side of the brain, you're actually going to be working this way. All right. if you have a patient who has a stroke and they can't move this arm, the only way to start moving it is in a diagonal pattern. So everything she does, if you watch almost every plane you go in, she goes diagonal. Whether it's your arms, your legs, everything. And that's always been one of my favorite parts, is that she's hitting your neural system. Mm-hmm. So she's hitting patterns in your brain to connect for the case of any kind of problem you may have in the future. You're already ahead of the game. You're already working, because if you already do your movements, you'll notice that one side, you'll be like, oh my God, I can do this, no problem. Then you'll go to your left side, you'll be like, I can't do this. This leg doesn't want to do what the right leg, because it's not strong enough. The units of neurons haven't connected. But when you go diagonal and you change your pattern of movement, it opens synapses, is what they're called. Mm-hmm. So your brain talks to each other, talks to the nerves, yada, 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 yada.
So is now a good time for us to ask what you do?
So I work as a physical therapist in the geriatric population. Okay. So I work at the end of stages of life, you could say. So that's not all I work with. I work with anywhere from 55-year-olds to 102-year-olds.
Wow.
And I work in a nursing home. That's what I do. Rehab hospital/nursing home.
Well, we definitely appreciate that type of work. It's not something that, everyone does, and it's very critical, obviously. And we could tell that you had that expertise in talking about prospectors, so that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So thinking about, your personal journey with Tracey Anderson, what are some of the different kinds of results that you've seen?
Okay, well, the most important one is discipline. I didn't have discipline before, and she definitely made me have discipline. And that is something that I lacked a lot of, and now I have. The other thing is just getting to the mat and de-stressing, I feel like for me, when I get to the mat, I can actually just let it all go, And repeat the question again.
What other kinds of results have you seen? Just different, whether it's like mental, anything like that.
So toning for sure. I have definitely felt like my ass was getting dragged down after I had my 2 children. I'm 48, so that stuff starts to happen. And it's definitely lifted it up. My abs are definitely stronger when I work with patients or lift patients. I definitely have a much better core than I ever did before. But it's more than that. I just like it. I feel good when I do it. I feel good. I know that no matter what, I always have it to come back to. And that's kind of nice,
Yeah, absolutely. It does. It's what feels right. Like, to me now, if I try another workout, it's so weird. I can't.
Yeah, totally.
Like, what is with all this talking? I can't.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't set foot into a gym again. Never again.
Oh my God, definitely not. What would be your advice to someone that's new to the method?
Just start. If you feel too scared with the streaming, then go back to the meta. I think the meta is a really great way to start. It's super basic for anyone. You can do the cardio if you wanted to, because that is important. But don't give up, and give it 90 days. You always should give something 90 days, because it will become a habit. And once it becomes a habit, you're going to like it. And I also feel that if you connect with the girls in the Tamily, it will help you. It's been a big help to me, because even if you post a bad post, you think you don't look good, a good post, a vulnerable post, there's always somebody that says something like, you did a good job today. You really tried, or you look amazing. And those are ego boosters. They stroke your ego and they make you feel good and they make you want to do it to somebody else. When you see somebody that's not having a great day and you go, you came to the mat, you showed up. So I feel like it's like karma. We're giving each other good karma, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think the Tamily is what makes the huge difference in it. Like, to know that you like the workout and to want to do it and to get disciplined about it, like it takes that community, like taking it to the level. That is a huge part of it. What would be your advice to someone that's not new but they're not feeling motivated?
Don't worry, you'll get motivated again. I think I've gone through it. When I had my flood in my house, we moved out and I had to move in with my parents for 5 weeks. And I was unmotivated. I didn't want to even, I logged in, but I just didn't want to deal with it. And I came back, and I came back slow. But don't give up. It's here. It doesn't have to go away. It's here for you to lean on. Like they say, lean in, let it embrace you, and just start. Start basic. Don't give yourself all these huge goals at first. Start small. Small goals bring change. Big goals sometimes get so overwhelming, but it happens to all of us. I feel it. It's not every day is a good day.
Exactly. So when you went through the flooding and everything for that 5 weeks, did you not work out at all during that time?
Nope. Oh. I took off from November to December, and I felt already when I was working out, I was working on just solid plank floors, and it was already getting so hard to work out in my space, and I was overwhelmed with moving out of my home and living into my parents' house with 2 kids and a husband. Yeah. And commuting 4 hours a day was overwhelming to me, that I felt like if I added another thing to my life, I was going to go crazy. So I just said, I'm going to walk away, because no matter what, if you love something, you come back, I didn't stop my streaming. I kept going, and I would log in and watch you girls and, yay, do your workout or whatever. But, and I came back and I missed it. I couldn't do without it. I came back, I had my space, and I started right back up again, slowly. Slowly.
Yeah, yeah. But it's interesting because when people do have to take a break for something, that's a terrible life event like that, or an injury or something, they think they're going to lose everything just because they missed the time period.
No. I probably gained a little weight because I was eating like crap. I will admit it. I actually texted Rebecca to give me a little help on my eating habits because I sin all the time. But I didn't lose my tone, and it was really easy to get back in, put the heat back on, and get back. It was not easy to do the workout, but it was easy to get back in. And I wanted it even more because I had missed it so much.
Yeah.
But I didn't lose tone.
That's a very, very good thing to point out.
Yes. Did not.
Yeah, the changes from this workout are serious changes.
Like she said, it's from the inside out.
Right.
Really is. Really is.
Yeah. So we have a question from Rebecca. She said, when you are specializing movement for your patients, are you influenced by your daily practice of the Tracey Anderson method?
Every day. Every day. So I had breakfast with Rebecca, who is amazing. I love her. I told her the opening arm ceremony is so important. Tracey, to me, does everything for posture, opening shoulders. As we get older, we're like this, and everybody has pain in their neck, pain in their back, pain in their low back. And what they forget is that they're walking around with rounded shoulders, their neck is tight, they're not opening up, and all these movements that we do in the opening ceremony, everything is to broaden us, to stretch us, to make us taller. So I use that when I'm working with my patients to try to let them, come up, stand up taller, and also a lot of the balance activities we do with Tracey. I incorporate a lot of that with my activities too. So she's always giving me ideas. Yes, always. That's why I love it.
How cool to have a job that incorporates that kind of stuff. That's fantastic.
I like it a lot.
So our next question for you, this is a good one. Have you faced any challenges in doing the method?
Cardio has been my biggest challenge. When I had to move out, that was a big challenge because I didn't stay for those 5 weeks, so I did worry about it. And pain. I have pain. Some people write on there they have wrist pain or they have a back pain or hip pain. I have pain, but you have to learn how to adjust your body and weight shift your body so that your pain, decreases. Because we're all going to have pain. That's not something that's going to go away. You're going to have pain no matter what you do, whatever exercise you do. You have to learn how to adjust your body. And then the other challenge is dealing with my kids who want to always join me.
That is a challenge. I go through the same challenge with my puppies.
Yes, right, exactly.
What is something that you have learned from Tracey?
I think I already said it, discipline. Her work ethic to me is absolutely amazing. I feel like she's always working. I feel like she's always doing something for, whether it's her business or, she comes up with different classes, not just one class, 3 different classes, or this week we had the multitask, the bonus content. And it's every week. And she's doing this for the masses,
Yeah.
I also, when she did the last couple of classes, she's done a little snippet of lecture, which I love. Mm-hmm. And she talked about the decrepitation that happens to us as we're all becoming like this. Mm-hmm. That was like bing, 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 bing. Yeah, that's so true. And I think she's very honest when she's talking about you need to work out 6 days a week. She's totally right. She's not lying to you. She's telling you you need to work out 6 days a week. Most people will say you only need to do 3 days a week. Yeah, if you're genetically gifted with an amazing body like a Victoria's Secret, sure, you probably could. But if not, you really should work out 6 days a week so you can be your best self. And that's something she said, like brushing your teeth, all that stuff. It's true. And that's the most important thing that I've learned from her is doing every day something.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. That's an excellent point. Because, all the fitness people out there that want to say, 20 minutes 3 times a week is going to get you a perfect body. First of all, that's not true. And it's not helping you with your cardiovascular health to only work out that much in a week,
Yeah, totally.
What is your favorite thing about the Tracey Anderson method?
Oh, the Tamily, I have to say. Because I could do it without the Instagram and not having the girls at your back, and it wouldn't be the same. I think that it's been a major thing for me to have that to fall back on, to stay in the path, to stay on the path. I've done other things, but I've never been able to stay here. And now I've been doing this for 3 years, streaming. And it's really, I think, the unit that has been made. It's like a woven blanket, you know.
Yeah.
To me, that's like one of the most important things.
Absolutely. It definitely sets this workout apart, for sure. So what is your routine about your workout? How do you fit it into your life?
I do it every day after work to decompress, to relax. And then on Saturdays, I'll do it in the middle of the day because I want to get the most heat. I try to work out after 3 o'clock, so it's really, I open the window. It's hot, obviously, in South Florida. So I do during the weekends try to do it in the middle of the day so I can get more heat. But during the week, it's at night, and I actually like it the best then because I go to bed a little better.
I feel the same way.
I did try the 5 a.m. and I was horrible at it. I commend those girls that do the 5 a.m. or the 4 a.m. I was lousy. I felt really off balance. And I hated it. The sun wasn't up. And I said, you know what? I'm an evening girl. And I used to work at a bar, so at night, so I think I've already like used to working hard at night.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it then.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like, in the morning like that, I feel like I'm going to fall over. I feel like
I did. I thought I would fall over. I was like, this is crazy. These girls are nuts. But they did it. They do it. You know, I think it is so individual. You have to find your own pattern. Nobody's pattern is the same. And you have to find what you love and how you love to do it.
Right, exactly. And you can't try to force yourself to do something that's not fit for you. You know, I mean, there's plenty of people that 4 and 5 a.m., they're on their game. That's not when I'm on my game. Like, every time I start a workout after midnight, it's a fantastic workout. And I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Wow, you're after midnight? Oh my God. You're a vampire.
My goal is 9 p.m., but like, if they didn't go so well, I wouldn't want to do it then.
Right.
So we have another question from Nicole. She would like to know, what is the best life advice or lesson about living life to its fullest that I don't know what this word is supposed to be, that you've received, I think, from one of your elderly patients?
Wow, that's a hard question. Oh my gosh. You know, move every day. Just move. And really, the ones be kind to others. But yeah, most of the people that it's just move. The ones that are still going at 95 without a walker, they move every day. They do something. They volunteer. They service others. That I think is the answer. And also love. Actually, for me, love. Having someone to love, or a companion, or even if it's a puppy, you know, something there to love. Love, you know, come back. But movement is the key. I don't necessarily think it has to be any way, shape, or form of movement, but just for you to love how you move. That is the best way, to me, that I've seen.
Absolutely. That's excellent, simple, but perfect advice. Do you have a motivational quote that you would like to share with everyone?
You know, I had one, and I think my kids moved my paper. I had one and I lost it. Oh, I got it. So you won't always be motivated, but learn to be disciplined. Because you won't always be motivated.
Right.
At all. And I just saw Aggie, and I saw Sharon. I don't know if she's still Sharon. I met through the JLo challenge, and her and I have connected, not in person, but 3 years now, which I couldn't believe it's been 3 years. And I want to shout out to Aggie because she was one of the first persons that, or Tamally members, that stated something in one of my first J-Lo posts. And that those little things was like, oh my God, Aggie liked my picture. Oh my God, like it motivated me to continue. And you don't realize how much we give to each other. How much we help each other. We don't even realize it, I think.
That's true. And especially about Aggie. She's an amazing champion for all of us.
She's a supermodel.
True. Yeah. She's amazing. But I mean, it's just, that's the thing that makes us so different. It's such a fantastic community that we have. What is your personal philosophy about working out?
I like to really, when I'm in like the arms part, I really like to just dive in deep, get in there, and really enjoy it. I do not care about reps. I want to feel the movement. I want to feel good in the movement, and if it feels good, I continue. If it doesn't, I modify. But I keep going. I'll try every movement because there's been a lot of movements or crazy positions Tracey's put us in, and you're like, what does she want me to do with my body? And then you'll be able to do it. And you're like, oh wow, I actually can do this. So don't be afraid. Try it. You never know what you can do, and just do it. Just try. Best thing, try.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I know we already asked you what you do, and we didn't specifically ask where you live. I know where you live, but is there anything else you want to say about what you do or where you live to our community?
So I live in West Palm, South Florida. I'm not going to Vitality, but I am going to Celeste Barber show, so I hope to see the Tamally there.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So that would be cool if I can just even wave to Tracey.
Yeah.
And I live in South Florida. We tried to hook up. I know that we tried to meet one time.
Yeah, I used to go there for work all the time, and then now that I've been in my new job, even though I'm supposed to also travel there, I never go there. But I will soon, and I will let you know when I'm there.
And what else? I lost my train of thought. I'm going to see Celeste Barber. I'm excited about that. I've met, so far I've met 2 Tamally members.
Okay.
All amazing. I met Alex, as a local girl, when there was a hurricane a couple years ago. We hooked up, and she's not on Instagram that often. She doesn't feel comfortable doing it.
Okay.
But I've made a connection with her, and I love her. So everybody that I've met so far have been such cool people. That's, what else can I tell you? My job, I've been doing my job for 20 years.
Wow.
I love my job. It is a very hard job. And it's changing. Unfortunately, the medical world is not what it used to be. It's changing a lot. So this is why it's so much more important for all of us to stay healthy, do things, because in 30 years, it may not be the same as the services our grandparents are receiving. They may not be there for us. So take care of your body. You got one vessel. That's it. Take care of it. Take care of it.
True. We have a question from Aggie, who's like the greatest question asker of Ask Tamily interviews. She would like to know, what is a dream you've never said out loud?
A dream. I want to be an actress, a dancer. I mean, come on. I don't know. I'm a dancer.
Hi.
Hi. I want to travel the world. That's it.
Oh, that's a really good one.
I've always wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be an airline. What do you call those? Work in the airline. But I'm too short. I'm only 5 feet tall. That is too short. But I've always wanted to travel. I used to travel when I was younger. We've been to Colombia, and my parents are Colombian, so we would go there during the summer.
That's awesome.
So I dreamed of traveling. That's my dream.
That's awesome. We have another question for you, and of course, anyone else that's watching can type a question into the chat and ask that as well. But we would like to know who you'd like to see featured in future Ask Tamily interviews.
You guys have done a great job. I went back on YouTube to look. So many. Wow, 40 amazing interviews.
Yep. The 41st.
I really think I would love Mona Fit. I know that would be hard in Abu Dhabi.
We can work it out.
I actually also think Erica Boone from Fit Mama Apparel. She's so smart, and her workout ethic is amazing, and she's a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Chipper Smith, 48. She's 48, 71, baby, like me. She's amazing. But there's so many others. I think any interview with any Tamily is a good one, because we can each learn something from every single one. All of us are in a different journey. Every one of us has a different issue, but yet we're all coming to work out here, with Tracey. So
yeah, definitely.
And Aggie, have you interviewed Aggie?
We haven't. We have asked her, but she hasn't agreed yet.
Oh.
So now
she plays hard. She plays hard to get.
Yeah, I think we asked her in the beginning, and there's a couple of people we asked in the beginning, and they weren't sure. Some people think that they're going to be nervous or whatever. It's really just a conversation with friends.
Yeah.
Tracy, who doesn't want to talk about Tracy? So some people have changed their minds, and then we signed them up. And I think a couple other people have suggested some of the ones that you did. So Nicole usually reaches out to them and then gets them on the schedule. I think we're working on, the rest of May and then June right now. But, there's tons of people. So our plan is to interview everyone that we possibly can.
I'm always amazed when I put in the Tracey Anderson hashtag, because I do try to put that hashtag in, because on my feed sometimes I get, the same thing comes up, or I get a lot of commercials.
Right.
And it's amazing when you just put that hashtag out there, all the new people you see that you're like, wow, there's so many of us that we don't even know about. I try to see a new person that is trying, or maybe someone I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
It's very cool. There's so many of us.
Well,
and you girls are going to Vitality in Hamptons. Oh, another one is Surrey. Surrey.
Okay.
Surrey, hello. So smart.
Yeah, I don't know if she's on our list yet, but we'll definitely reach out to her. That's a great
I would think she's an interesting interview.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see if she's willing to do it. That'll be fun. So, of course, anyone else can type in any questions to the chat. I think we've got all the ones that were typed in. But we have a few more minutes here. So while you have this audience with the Tamily, is there anything else that you would want to share with them? Or any questions that I didn't ask you that you wanted me to ask you?
I think you asked me all of them. But I actually have a question for you girls. You girls are going to the Vitality in Hamptons, right?
Yep.
How cool would it be if you did a live feed of what's happening behind the scenes?
We could do that.
That would be really cool. That would be really cool.
We will do it, for sure. Absolutely. Yep, we're going to the one in August.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Really cool. Have you guys been? I haven't been to the studio. Oh, that was something. That's also like something that I can't wait to do. You know, in the future.
Yeah.
Hopefully, get to do that someday soon. I hope she builds one down here. That would be great. Although I don't know if she will. South Florida is so.
A couple of times we thought that it was happening.
It's a hard, South Florida is very transient. We have the snowbirds that come down and then they disappear.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm not a business savvy person, but it would be great. But who knows? Who knows? And the questions, I think I hit them all.
Yeah, I think you did. Well, thank you very much for joining us for the 41st Ask Tamily interview. And we'll share it. It'll be on my feed until tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then we'll get it on to YouTube, and it'll be there forever with all the Ask Tamily interviews.
That's great. Thank you, girls. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, and I want to say thank you to McDance Love too. And oh my God, so cute. Thanks. I would love to come to LA.
Oh yeah.
Love you, Sharon. All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Okay, and we can meet in person.
Yes, that would be great.
Absolutely.
You're not that far away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye. You too.